What if the universe began as a mother black hole that didn't explode, but slowly loosened its lid and overflowed into a sea? In the energy filament theory, the beginning is not a mathematical blow-up. It's a describable critical process where a high-pressure energy stew leaks, fails, and spreads until a finite energy ocean forms. Start with the black hole's outermost layer. It is not a perfect mathematical surface. It is a critical porous skin made of the same energy sea, still able to knot, rearrange, and get hammered by tension waves rising from the boiling core. That means it can't stay perfectly smooth forever. Tiny patches will momentarily lose balance. Relay conditions will briefly mismatch. And when that happens, pinhole channels open a little, leak a little, close again. Step 1 is pore evaporation. Picture a pressure cooker safety valve. The release is small, brief, and scattered. Because the release is chopped into countless micro-events, energy and information left without creating one giant outward blast. The death looks like a quiet exit. You don't get a clean macroscopic shock shell that demands an explosion story. And you don't get a hard directional kick that forces the universe into a runaway motion narrative. Step 2 is outer critical failure. Over a very long time, maintaining the critical tension difference becomes harder. Pores open more often, they become harder to reseal. The critical surface shifts from a threshold that can close into a loosened belt that can't fully close back. This moment still isn't a firework. It's a lid that starts to leak continuously. The horizon stops being a stable seal. The black hole moves from a closed deep valley into a partially open valley. Step 3 is overflowing into the sea. The core is already a violently mixed steam pot where differences are stirred down fast. So what leaks outward inherits a near isotropic base tone, with small ripples that look like the random texture of pore pulses. Energy spreads outward like thick soup poured onto a table, not like a shell exploding into a vacuum. It forms a three-dimensional finite lump of energy C, potentially irregular, because the weakest leak pads and local conditions won't be perfectly symmetric. But because the release is local, intermittent, and not globally synchronized, sharp asymmetries struggle to grow. They tend to be smeared into a low-order large-angle texture rather than preserved as a dramatic blast scar. Step 4 is boundary formation by relay breakdown. As the overflow extends outward, the sea becomes looser, handoff gets harder. At a threshold, relay becomes intermittent, and long-range forces and information can't propagate reliably beyond it. That threshold is the boundary. It is not a wall. It is the outer rim of a forced desert. Disturbances don't bounce, they fade because the chains can't carry them forward, and because the threshold depends on local sea conditions. The boundary is more like an irregular coastline than a perfect sphere. It's the natural contour of where relay still works. So remember the full chain in one breath. Pores leaking, the critical seal weakens, overflow spreads into a finite sea, and relay failure defines the edge. This is why an overflow origin differs from an explosion origin. It offers a mechanism that naturally produces first stirred, then cooled, naturally keeps macroscopic directional scars small, and naturally yields a finite universe with a physical boundary without forcing infinity as a default. Next we sharpen the test. If the beginning was an overflow and the edge is a relay threshold, what subtle fingerprints should remain in large angle patterns, background smoothness, and the statistics of structure? And what would be hard to fake with a one-time blast story? Tap follow, share it on New Physics, Clear Universe.